and welcome to Rosie's training video. I'm going to show you guys what we've been working on. She's such a good dog. I just love her so much. She's so sweet. Sometimes when you're petting her like that, she'll do a little like, ugh. So we're trying to still work on that to take out the jumping. But for the most part, she has been sitting. When I've let strangers greet her, she does really well. She can handle them petting for, maybe like, I don't know, like 8 seconds. And then you see her want to do a little pop like that. So we're trying to get rid of that. But even when she does it, it's pretty gentle. So we can just kind of talk about not jumping up right now while she's being left on. If she does try to jump up, we want to turn away. So it can be turning, our part of our body away, turning our eyes away. If other strangers were greeting her, like if any little kids or anything, I might tuck my thumb under her collar so that, little kids could pet her, but I would know she's not going to accidentally jump up at them. She's really been trying to, that's an example, trying to control herself, but she really loves to be loved too. So, if she jumps, you ignore it, but the other half of jumping is asking her to sit. So I've really been trying to drill in, you sit to get petted, you sit when, if you want anything. So thinking of our sit as really good manners, as saying please and thank you, right? So she's doing great on that. Today, as our training, you'll hear me say yes. And if I say yes, I will always give a treat. So yes is me marking a behavior she's just done, marking a behavior she's just done, and telling her she got it right. And I will always back that up with a treat. If I say good girl, that is more of a praise word. So praising is just praising, but the yes is actually marking a specific move that she's done. When you guys get her home, I want you to be treating her, rewarding her, especially the first week or two. And as she's doing really well with you and she's following the cues from you, you can back off treating so much. If you were going to take her out somewhere, like to a baseball game or something like that, absolutely bring food with you. I wouldn't expect her to be working and training for, 30 minutes just for a good girl. Like, you need to pay up, right? She is working for a paycheck. So, today, as she's doing some of the behaviors she knows really well, I'm not going to be treating it every time. If any of the behaviors are still new or we're still really trying to get it, I'm absolutely rewarding for it. When you're training, you can think of your reward as petting, praise, food, toys, access to something. So there's all kinds of rewards out there. All right, let's start with the easy one, which is touch. So touch gets her close to me. It gets her focused on me and thinking about me. Rosie, touch. Yes. So right there, I could yes it and then treat. She's pretty good now. I don't need to yes it necessarily, but touch. Good girl. Touch. Good girl. Touch. Yes. Right, so touch is a nose bump. It gets her close to me, focused on me. It can be a great redirection away from something else. So if we're out walking, I might ask for a touch just to keep her honed in on me. Another thing we've worked on is watch me, and watch me is fist to chin, and it's eye contact on cue. So again, it's focus on me, right? So if she's looking out the window, if I ask for a watch me, I'm bringing her brain right back into me. So watch me. Good girl. Just a good girl. Just a good girl. Rosie, watch me. Good girl. Oh, she's a good girl. So you will see me asking for the watch a lot throughout the training, especially if we're working on stay or anything like that. Good, Rosie. Oh, don't you do it. That's a good girl. Just a good girl. All right. So I'm going to go through sit, down, and stand. Those are kind of your 3 foundation behaviors. This is our hand cue for sit. So palm up. Down will be palm down, and stand will be like this, kind of going from her nose into you. So, Rosie, sit. Rosie, sit. Good, there we go. She knows it. Good girl. Watch me. Stand. Yes. girl. So standing is just going from a sit or down into all fours. Sit. Good girl, Rosie. Good girl. Down. Yes. Good girl. Every now and then we'll try to get the down and she'll be a little slow about it, but she's doing great. Stand. Yes. Good girl. Okay, so now I'm just gonna kind of play around with those behaviors we just worked on. Touch. Good girl. Touch. Good girl, Rosie. Sit. Stand. Sit. Good girl. Down. Watch me. Good girl, Rosie. Stand. Yes. Nice. So those might be really good warm-up exercises with her. So, you know, if you were training her and just practicing, running through those behaviors, when you get her home, you can kind of pick one behavior, practice it, make sure you feel comfortable with it, then work on another one, and then you can start combining them together like I just did. So, you know, at that point, I'm not treating every single little behavior, but having her do multiple things for the one treat. Good girl. I think she knew shake coming in, but possibly not. Rosie, sit, shake. Oh no, stand. Good girl. Rosie, sit, shake. Good girl, thank you. Sometimes she gets the shake mixed up with the down and touch because it's a palm coming at her. Oh, watch. Good girl, shake. Nope. Shake. Almost. So I'm just getting her out of position and back in. Sit. Shake. Yes, that's a wonderful girl. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you leave it next. So leave it means don't touch it, don't pick it up. It's the idea that good things come from you, not from the ground, right? So I'm going to use, this is like a doggy vanilla wafer. I think it's called a vanilla woofer. Yeah. Good. Ready? Leave it. Yes. Good girl. Okay, so leave it means don't touch it. So right now I'm using food, but you know, in real life, leave it could be anything. So earlier I have a plant and there's some rocks and moss and kind of stuff in the plant pot. I told her leave it, right, while I was hanging out on the couch, and she like moved away from the plant. That's a real life leave it, right? That doesn't mean I'm going to be treating every single time. You know, in real life, I want to say leave it, and you just leave the thing alone, and she did. She did great. But we practice these behaviors so you have a good foundation, and you practice this as like your training, right? This is her in the gym training time so that she can do it in the real world. So exercise one to leave it in your hand. If she goes for it, put your fist around it. Leave it. Yes. Good girl. She knows she got her little tail wagging. Right? I can go to both sides. Yeah, she's like, I'm not even going to touch it. Okay, so exercise 2, I'm going to put it on the floor. You could also put it on a small table, a chair, anything, but kind of where she can see it. But I'm going to put it down and cross it off on this one. This is exercise 2. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Good. So sometimes I have dogs that come up and try to get my treat pouch. That could be a leave it. Where I sit on the couch, there's a cup holder, and it's perfect for the dog's nose, so I might cross it off there and say leave it so you don't touch my drink or whatever I might have there. So it's just giving a visual cue on this one. Rosie, let's do one more. Leave it. Good girl. Good girl. So I'm going to treat her. Sometimes when you treat them, they'll immediately try to go for the leave it. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Good. I'm going to leave it down there. Good girl. Thank you. Thank you. No, ma'am. Okay, one more time. She's really thinking about that one. Yes, good girl. That's great. Good girl. So see, she gets it, but we're still proofing the behavior, right? So she's like, well, I can leave it when Cassandra tells me, but do I still have to leave it a minute later? So we want to keep working on the behavior. When you're practicing the leave it, you always want to be thinking that she could possibly go for it. So you're always ready to block it, block with your hand, your foot, whatever. So our last exercise for leave it we're going to do today is I'm going to drop it and I will block it with my foot. So this mimics a little more of if you were cooking and food fell on the floor, or you took medicine and medicine fell on the floor, you know, just something. We don't want her to think that anytime something falls on the floor, she can grab it. So I'm going to get her to get up and move. Touch, touch. Good. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Rosie. Yes, she's like, you're trying to get me in trouble. There we go. Do it again. Oh, man. Yes, that one busted into like 6 pieces. I will tell you, with my dogs and stuff, you know, like sometimes the benefit of having a dog is that they will come eat floor. So I eat food off the floor. So you could always say, okay, clean up. Okay. And you could give them the cue, okay, or clean up. And that means like they can go eat the popcorn or whatever fell on the floor. Good girl. All right, we're going to stop there in this video and we'll meet back in the next one.